Hey there, welcome in. It's Heather with Heather's Healing, and I'm here to look at the energies of August 2026. So just looking at the numerology of the month, it's an 18-9, which talks about or brings in the energies of spiritual and material, you could say conflict, but what I'm feeling is how do you meld the spiritual and the material worlds together? I think that's kind of the secret to living life and living life well is finding a way to do that. So I think one of the things that I want to focus on, and I'm going to make a conscious effort to do this, is finding your peace, creating peace in your everyday life. So guess I would think about what peace means to you. Um, what does that represent? How does that show up in your everyday life? Because it's going to be different for everyone. And I feel like that's a big message for this month is finding your peace in everyday life, even if that's, 10 or 15 minutes a day. But how do you bring your spiritual practice into your everyday life? Because everything is connected, it isn't separate. We're not meant to car- compartmentalize our lives. We're not meant to keep the spiritual over here and the material over here. We're meant to bring them together, to build a bridge and bring them together. So, how do you find peace in your everyday life? I think that's one of the biggest messages and challenges for this month, but for every day. I mean, this isn't just something we're doing for August, but you could put it into practice this month if you don't already. So, finding peace, creating peace, and also defining peace. What does peace look like for you? And then making space for that in your everyday life. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm using the After Tarot. So I just want to pull a couple of cards looking at the main energies of this month. And then I'm going to use, I think this is a really fun deck, and I might have to use the book because I'm not completely familiar with this deck. It's called the Between the Worlds Oracle. It's really fun. And I think I'm going to pull two or three cards from this deck to give us topics for this month, and then I'll pull some tarot cards on that. So, keeping the theme of peace in mind, what do we need to know about that? What are some of the main energies that will be coming up this month for those that are watching? I'm also hearing instead of seeing things as conflicts, see them as challenges. Uh, conflicts don't always have a resolution to them, but challenges often do. So I'm hearing that quite loud. Let's go ahead and pull three cards. Man, the Five of Swords has been coming up a lot lately. Oh, look at that. We've got the Strength card. The card representing Leo. I really, really love that. So we've got the Queen of Pentacles representing the material. I really love that. Representing the material world and ap- appreciating that. We're not meant to demonize money or demonize wealth or anything like that. It's how you view it, it's how you use it. It's a resource. So how can you maybe frame money and wealth in a different way, especially if you have wounding around wealth, or wounding around self worth? Your self worth definitely plays into wealth. So, looking at how you appreciate yourself, how you appreciate the world around you. I'm definitely focused on the hair. So, a favorable month, if any of you are trying to get pregnant, I feel like your fertility could be amplified this month. But a focus here on how how you view wealth, how you view your self-worth, and learning how to appreciate that or frame it in a different light, see it in a different way. It's a resource that we definitely need. Oh, we've got the 5 of Swords here. I think this is a good example of how how not to be. The 5 of Swords is competition, which competition can be very healthy, but 5 of Swords is winning at any cost. So the way you having integrity around how you make your money, how you spend your money, having integrity. It isn't about having the most or collecting it all or um, valuing things above people. It's not about that. Um, Yeah, definitely a lot here around how you view yourself, how you view your material world, your integrity, your values, what's important to you. Um, Also, I'm hearing what sacrifices need to be made and what do you put on the back burner? Because I do feel like there's a need here to prioritize yourself. And if you are someone that's always putting yourself on the back burner, that's something to look at this month. I mean, it's something to look at all the time. And there's definitely a time and place where, you have to put yourself on the back burner, especially if you have little kids, you have people that you've got to care for. Naturally, there are times in our lives where we do have to put ourselves on the back burner. But if you're finding that you're constantly sacrificing your well being for the well being of others, there could be something a little off balance there. I'm also really feeling, um, looking at how this is looking more at your outer circle of people. So if we're looking at our inner circle of people being family, kids, your blood family, your work, the things that are family being first, work being second, and then looking at the outer ring of connections outside of that, which would be your friendships, people that aren't necessarily your top priority, but looking at that relationship with them, there's something with that. Are are there people in your life that for whatever reason you're trying to please or you're trying to impress? And so you are investing too much time and effort with these people. It could also be habits, things that you are spending your time on, our time being the most valuable thing, the most precious commodity that we have. There's something here with that. So looking at how you are spending your time and energy, especially with people and things that really aren't that important. And then the strength card coming in, which I absolutely love that the strength card came out. It's the card of Leo. So happy birthday to all of the Leos out there. My daughter's a Leo. And we have the energy of 8, the energy of infinity, the energy of what you put out coming back to you. And this is refinement with time. It's wisdom that you gain with time. It's what we learn along the way, and it's how and it's what we learn from conflict too. The people that are difficult, the people that are stepping over others, to reach their goals, it's how do you interact with that? How do you deal with that? And it's what you learn from that. I love the strength card. It can be a difficult card at times because it does talk about challenges. So there could be some challenges that are coming up this month. But what I'm feeling more than anything with the talking about challenges is this is a repeated pattern. This is something that is coming up again for you to look at. It's a behavior it's a way of dealing with, I feel like this is more people, how you deal with certain types of people. Are you caving in? Are you selling yourself short? There's something here that I'm feeling with this strength card. So I feel like some of the challenges this month could be focused on um, patterns with people, codependency. It could be all sorts of things, but you'll recognize it when it comes up because it's exhausting. You've looked at it before, you've done it before. Um, so what's the advice here with these conflicts and challenges? Yeah, we're supposed to be looking at it as challenges rather than conflicts. Repeated cycles that get you nowhere other than depleting your energy. I really am feeling the life force energy with the lion here. So really paying attention to how your life force is being depleted, how your life force is being energized. This could also be where finding your peace comes in, because peace is always going to rejuvenate you, and for me, what I have found is when I feel the most peace is when I'm fully present and I'm not worried about time. I'm not worried about a schedule. I'm fully in the moment, not worrying about the past or the future. I'm just appreciating the present moment, and I can feel my entire body just calming down. Um, And in that moment, I will feel a surge of life force. So I'm really feeling with this lion here, paying attention to your life force and how it is um, either being energized or depleted. Patterns of depletion. I'm hearing patterns of depletion. It's definitely a pattern. What do we need to know about the challenges that come up this month? What do we need to know? What do we need to know about the challenges that may come up this month? The other thing that I'm feeling here is how you let outside sources amp you up, like social media, for example, getting worked up and pissed off over posts or different things that you're seeing online or on the news. That could be part of this pattern of depletion here. But what do we need to know? I'm hearing watch out for the lies. Don't get caught up in the lies. What do we need to know? Yeah, take your power back. We've got the 4 of Cups here, and what I love about this 4 of Cups, and I feel like this is really good advice, feel your disappointment, feel your frustration, don't sell yourself short, but, feel it, acknowledge it, and then decide, okay, I'm done. At some point, you have to be done feeling sorry for yourself. At some point, you have to be done feeling like the victim. At some point, you just have to be done. And I love on this card, he's, dumping out whatever's in the cup. And what I feel like he's about to do is saying, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with this and I'm moving forward. I'm going to stand up and move on. I feel like that's the advice here with the challenges this month is don't see yourself as a victim. You you're more powerful than you know, and I feel like oftentimes we don't feel that way. I mean, I know I quite often do not feel powerful, especially when your energy is being depleted. So pay attention to patterns of depletion, pay attention to how you view your self-worth, money, what are your values, and what's your integrity? How do you define peace? These are all things I feel like that are going to be coming up. So let's go ahead. Let's see, I just want to look at these really quick. So we've got the strength card. So that's Leo. We have the 5 of swords. That's going to be Venus. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. And then we've got the 4 of Cups, which is the moon in Cancer. Okay. So let's look at 2 or 3 subjects that could come up this month. I don't know, Spirit, what do you wanna talk about? What do you wanna talk about? We've got the hagstone, we've got the short bone, we've got the devil head. I feel like that definitely ties in with the 5 of swords. Okay, so looking at the hagstone, card number 39, and I just wanna get a this is such a fun deck. What I love about this deck, she has funny stories, like personal stories that kind of go along with the meanings of each card, which I really like. So the message of the Hagstone, it says protection, vulnerability, spiritual gifts can help you feel protected and also very vulnerable at times. Um, so let's pull some cards on that. And that definitely is going in line with the energy of this month, bringing in melding the spiritual with the practical. Spiritual gifts can help you feel protected and also very vulnerable at times. That's very true. And what I'm hearing with that is the more you develop your I hate using the word spiritual, but the more you develop your spiritual gifts and the more you develop your spirituality and the more you feel. That's what I'm feeling, like, it's the more you feel, you can't get away from that. Okay, so what do we need to know about this hagstone? Um, which I always have seen hagstones as being very protective. I wanna ask the question, and I'm open to anything here, but what is the vulnerabilities? What's the potential vulnerabilities this month? I will say kind of right out the gate, what I've been feeling this month. I think I started feeling it more towards the end of July, but definitely feeling it so far in August. And I've had some weird kind of experiences as well. Is the energy's definitely heightened. I don't know if that's because of the Lionsgate um, or if it's, something else, but definitely a lot of darker energies, and I have felt myself really being pulled into some very dark places, which is not like me. I normally see that before I get pulled into it, so I've found that kind of interesting, and I'm wondering if you guys have noticed a similar things. Like it's almost like being distracted and brought down. The distraction, I don't know. It's weird. It's like being distracted by little things, yeah, everyday stuff. And then it's somehow like those darker energies attach to you and start to just when I say pull you down, it brings in kind of like a darker cloud over you, which can make you susceptible to maybe potentially losing yourself or falling into patterns and habits that aren't helpful. I don't know, that's just what I have noticed. What do we need to know about spiritual protection or vulnerabilities this month? What do we need to know? Be aware of your pitfalls. Be aware of your shortcomings. Um, because all of those things could be exploited this month. And it's done in very subtle ways. That's what has been, at least for me, that's the way it's been showing up. It's been really subtle. Even like dreams that have just kind of thrown me off. There's that Five of Swords again. Um, Dreams that have just kind of thrown me off, you know? It's been some just really weird things. Wow, we got two kings here. So what do we need to know about? So this King of Wands right here in the middle, I feel like this is advice on how to manage our energy this month. And this is definitely, this is what I'm feeling. Demonic energies, dark energies, whatever you want to call them, they're attacking the mind. It feels like they're going for the mind, and that makes sense to me, especially the way that I've been feeling it, because sometimes spiritual attacks can show up like physical, and they still could show up as physical attacks. But what I have been experiencing and what I'm feeling for us is being attacked, the mind being attacked, especially with this King of Swords and this Five of Swords. The best way to prevent that is staying very grounded in the body, um, nourishing your body, doing everything you can to strengthen your body, you know, movement, exercising, keeping up your fire, your life force. When I say your fire, I'm talking about your life force energy, keeping that life force up, which goes back to the lion on the strength card. What's depleting your energy? What are those patterns of depletion? And, you know, healing that or cutting that out, whatever that is for you, it's going to be really important. It's important to keep your life force strong, because I feel like what I'm seeing is in your body, your life force being a flame, and it's going up into the mind, and it is burning away it's burning away dark attachments that have attached to, I'm being shown the back of your eyes and your mind. Um, Almost like when I see attachments on people, oftentimes they kind of look like um, energies with like tentacles. That's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like these tentacles that have been attached to your mind and your eyes. But your life force, if your life force is strong enough, it's going to burn through all of that. So whatever these things are, they can't root in. Um, they might attach temporarily, but they can't root in. And it's mostly in the mind. So pay attention to what you're watching. And that, I think that that's something else that I've found really interesting this month. And I have no, at first I didn't notice it, but I've noticed it now. I'll put in something to Google and it will take me not to what I Googled. It will take me somewhere totally, totally elsewhere. And it's detrimental, or it's really messed up, or it's like, why am I seeing this? Why did it take me here? And that's that demonic interference. It's wanting me to watch certain things, hear certain things, because it's trying to find an opening. And I feel like, and I'm not saying any of this to scare anyone, but I've just noticed that it's been particularly strong, and that's coming up. um, to protect your mind, watch your thoughts. If you're finding yourself getting caught in a pattern of um, de- debilitating thought, thoughts that bring your life force down, um, counteract that. Ask questions about those thoughts. Are those thoughts really true? Or is that your mind trying to bring you down? It definitely feels like when you have two kings, there can be conflict here, and I feel like that's the conflict. It's battling it's shouldn't use the word battle. It's overcoming these negative or paralyzing thoughts, um, and doing what you can to prevent that. So, yeah, being mindful, watching what you watch, watching what you watch. There's the lion back there as well. It's very interesting to me, the mind. It does feel like this month, the challenge here is the mind being attacked, being thrown off course, your life force being harvested. And doing what you can to prevent that. Staying out of fear is one of the biggest ways. And quite often, once I caught on to what was happening, like with the Google searches, I mean, taking me to the weirdest places. I just said out loud, I see you. I see you and I see what you're doing, and I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not buying into it. Noticing when or if your thoughts, what you are thinking, because we all kind of have our negative thoughts that we have about ourselves. At least I do, and I know that's me. It's like, okay, yeah, these are my fears, my weaknesses, whatever. They're my the things I feel self-conscious about, and I know that that's me. But there have been other things coming into my mind where it's like, that's not me. That's not me. And calling it out. I feel like that's another way of protecting yourself and just letting the energies know, that darkness know, hey, I see you. I see you, and it's not going to work. And I always call on Jesus or God to help block out those energies. But being very careful about what you watch. Uh yeah, especially on social media. Yeah, I'm just going to say especially on social media. Hmm. Okay. Watching the mind. It's interesting with the eyes. I just keep seeing, yeah, the eyes, the mind. And it's almost like some of these demonic energies have attached them. Well, I know they have attached themselves to a lot of people, but um, they're speaking through some of these people that are online, or I don't quite know how it's working. I just be mindful. Hmm. Okay. Next topic we have the short bone, card number 37. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we've got a 10. 37. It almost kind of feels like going back to this. This almost kind of feels like, and we know people can spew hate. Um, and that's easy to see and notice. So we often, we'll turn that off, or we won't listen to that because we just know that's just a hateful person being hateful. What I feel like the way it's coming through is in different ways, ways that you wouldn't normally maybe sense that it's dark energy. It feels more subtle. It's not going to be obvious. That's what I'm feeling here with the going back to the, being mindful about what you watch on social media, being mindful about how you're engaging with others. It's subtle. It isn't. Um, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel as obvious as what you might think it would be. All right, so short bone. It says days or weeks. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I love her little stories in here. This is a really fun oracle deck. But the message is time is an abstract, and what is short to one person may feel like an eternity to others. To another, this indicates a temporary situation or one that will last for a day or a few days. So, a temporary situation. Okay. So, what do we need to know about time or a temporary situation where it feels like there's a delay of some kind? So, what do we need to know about the message of the short bone? A delay or time? What do we need to know about that? A temporary situation. What do we need to know about that? Time, a temporary situation. We got another 10. We've got the 10 of Pentacles, we have the 4 of Wands, and then we've got the Ace of Pentacles. This does feel like it has to do with a focus on family here, your immediate family, uh, your blood family. So there could be an interruption. I'm feeling like this is an interruption or something that comes up that interrupts daily life. um, I don't feel like it's anything, super serious, and it does seem like it reconciles itself fairly quickly. I know in the book it was saying it's just a few days, but there is something that happens that disrupts the family. So, um, I feel like this is tied more into, again, I'm going to life force. I keep going back to life force. So, health, this could be um, a health scare or a health crisis of some kind that does resolve itself fairly quickly, but it does kind of bring daily life, your everyday routine, to a screeching halt, is what it feels like. It feels like breaking with this 10 of Pentacles, breaking from your regular routine. So there is a disruption this month. And I feel like this is coming up just to let you know it's a temporary situation that does have a positive conclusion. It does resolve itself. Uh, the other thing that I feel about that is it's also it brings the family closer together, and I think it's a nice reminder of how important certain people are in your life. I think it's going to be different for everybody, but I think it could give you a different appreciation or a deeper appreciation for the people in your life. Maybe you didn't realize how much you love or depend or value someone that's in your life. And this situation, whatever this is, brings that to light. I also feel like it maybe changes the direction for you going forward. Um, and it could just be you decide, you know what, I'm spending more time with this person. I'm spending more time taking care of myself. I'm spending more time. I'm investing in me. I'm investing in my family. I'm investing in what's most important to me. It does feel like there is a redirect that comes from this situation. And it's a positive redirect. That's what I'm feeling here. Very specific this month. Okay, and then we've got the devil head, card number 44. Let's see. Mischief and mayhem. All right. Yeah, maybe that kind of sums up. I and I don't know why this happens. I notice it at different times during the year. Sometimes I know it's very personal towards me as far as like if my energy is depleted, or it could be certain people that I'm working with, because I'm working with whatever's going on with them. But I just have noticed that at times the demonic energies, the dark energies on this planet, they fire up. Like they're activated. Mischief and mayhem. That's kind of the way it feels to me. So the message here is critical thought. Again, going back to thought. Critical thought is required to ensure your actions are thought provoking and not controlling. I mean, mischief can be fun. It doesn't have to be, but it's going back to the mind. Huh. Whatever you think the benefits might be here, the card indicates that you are being coerced, and you may not even realize that it isn't your idea at all until it's too late. Uh, yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about back here with the hagstone. It's thoughts being coerced. But and this could, and we'll pull some cards. So this could be representing a person in your life that's doing that. But I feel that it's more the dark energies that are doing that. Really be protective of your mind. Coercion and not realizing that you're being coerced. All right. What do we need to know about this coercion, this devil head? And then I'm going to tell you what I think we can do that, well, not what I think, what I know will help. What do we need to know about this devil head or coercion? What do we need to know about this energy here? What do we need to know about this energy here? This devil head. What do we need to know? Seeing that Five of Swords. Taken advantage of, being manipulated with words. Ooh, being coerced to bring out your worst self. Okay. What do we need to know? There's the control. There's the star. So we've got the Four of Pentacles here. We've had a lot of pentacles here. What do we need to know about this coercion? Manipulation. So I mean, it's coming up, so it must be important. But the 4 of Pentacles, this to me is, oh, hold on. I've got a ginger that needs to go out. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. So what I'm feeling with this 4 of Pentacles, this is controlling manipulative behavior. And I feel like it's showing up in a couple of different ways. For some of you, I feel like this is a relationship that the person is manipulative and controlling. It is not, it's not a healthy situation, and it's not going to change. So I feel like for some of you, this is, um, you're being supported in breaking that cycle, in breaking that, you're being supported at getting away from that person this month. The other thing that I'm feeling here is being manipulated and controlled. And again, I go back to social media, but this could show up in a lot of different ways. But this is being, feeling like you don't have, your value depends on what you have. Your value depends on what you own, what you buy, what you hoard. So there's manipulation here as far as material things go. There's a lot coming up this month with material things, time, money, um, your presence, your life force, your thoughts. But this 4 of Pentacles, this is manipulation with with things, material items. And it's a way of destabilizing you. It's a way of making you feel like you're not as good as other people. This could also be physical appearance too. It doesn't have to be, necessarily things, but I feel like there is, um, I hate to use the word attack, but I feel like we're being targeted this month in that way, using physical appearance, things. Um, it feels like a way of destabilizing well, it does. It's a way of destabilizing. Um, it's a way of destabilizing us. That's what I feel like with this energy and how this devil energy is showing up. This coercion, being manipulated. And like I said, for some of you, I do feel like this is a unhealthy relationship. But for others, it's how the energy is showing up. It's targeting your self-esteem. I also feel like it's targeting your belief systems. It has you, maybe you have a strong um spiritual connection, maybe you have a strong spiritual practice, maybe you are very strong in your values, what you believe in. You don't waver on that. You know who you are, you know what you stand for, you know what you believe in. I feel like the way the energy is coming, the way the energy is coming at us could destabilize that, and you could start to question those things. So if you notice that this month, uh notice it and acknowledge it, but that doesn't mean you have to second guess everything. There's something here with, and is like I said, it's going to be different for everybody. Where I feel like it can be the most damaging, though, is if it's targeting your spiritual practice, your spiritual beliefs, and you're questioning, all of a sudden, you're questioning your beliefs. It almost feels like it's trying to erode that foundation. And it's doing that, I mean, obviously to destabilize. But there's also another plan here. First, it's got to destabilize, and then it'll bring in the next part of the plan. Demonic energies are not stupid. They're very wise energies. They've been watching and interacting with human beings for however long we've been here. So they're not dumb. They're very what's the word I want to use? I mean, they're fantastic manipulators. But don't go into fear about this. I'm not bringing up any of this to be in fear. That's not why I'm doing it, but I think it's good to be aware. I think it's good to be aware of what is going on around us, the energy going on around us. Um, so this could be your beliefs, your values being attacked, being questioned, not necessarily from people. I feel like this is coming in through intrusive thoughts, attachments from attachments from what we are watching or listening to. That's what I feel. I know I've already said some of this. Um, but very positive outcome here. So I feel like we are very well prepared, and I think you're going to pick up on it. I really do. Pay attention to anything that doesn't feel like it's coming from you. It doesn't sound like your voice. It's not something that you would normally think. I think it's great to question everything all the time. Um, but if you find yourself taking like a 360, going in a completely different direction, or you feel like you want to do that with your spiritual practice, I wouldn't I would hold off on that. I wouldn't rush into making any drastic changes. I would just observe what's going on, and I would wait until maybe later on this month, or even into September, before you make any sudden changes. Don't join a cult, okay? That's kind of what I'm saying here. No, I know I'm joking, but don't go to extremes. Then we've got the star card right in the middle. I feel like this is advice on what to do, just talking about, again, spiritual hygiene, um, saltwater cleanses, keeping your life force up. Because again, I feel like if we're standing in our power and our life force is strong, a lot of these attachments, they can't root in. Our energy will burn through that. Our life force will burn through that. They won't be able to get their tentacles in. So I feel like the star card is a reminder of spiritual hygiene, taking care of your physical body, making time for peace, finding that peace in your everyday. Um, Clearing your space, clearing your mind, being very intentional about who you spend time with, being very intentional about what you're watching. Um, I love the energy of the star. You know, it's slowly coming into the light. It is um this darker energy lifting off of us. And it's also knowing that you are protected, you are guided, um you're very wise. But question things this month. And now that you know that some of what's going on, the energies going on this month, I think it'll be a lot easier for you to notice that as well. I mean, it's very subtle when it comes to the mind, manipulation of the mind. I mean, that is so, so powerful, because our thoughts are powerful. Um, And then we've got the Six of Wands, which I love. This is success. This is being seen in a positive light. I feel like this is healing and coming into the light, standing in your power. I feel like this is saying that we're going to be successful at overcoming whatever negativity is thrown at us this month. I do feel like that it's overcoming that. Very interesting. Um, And it could be because of the Lionsgate portal. It is a huge portal of energy. We also have the solar eclipses that start. We're going into eclipse season, which I love eclipse energy. I love it, but it does bring in some interesting energies. So just one second here. I just want to take a look at, um, I like to see if we have any patterns. So sorry, I have to think about some of these because I forget. So we've got Sun in Capricorn. We've got Aquarius energy. Uh, Six of Wands, Jupiter and Leo. Oh, Jupiter and Leo. That's Venus in Aquarius. So we do have Aquarius here twice. Thinking outside of the box. Okay. 10, the 10 of Pentacles. That's Mercury in Virgo. And then we've got the 4. The 4 of Wands. That's Jupiter. So we have Jupiter and Aquarius coming up twice. I know I've talked about this in other videos. When Jupiter is heavily present, it amplifies everything. So be mindful of your thoughts this month. Be mindful of what you're watching. Be mindful of destructive, depleting patterns that might show up. Just be mindful of all of that. All right. So probably should have brought in a different, you know what? Actually, let's do this. I just want to pull a final card. Let's use this one. Final card, final message. Oh, I almost forgot. What I was going to say is a way of protecting your mind and protecting your energy. Imagine yourself being surrounded by an orange light. So visualize, and if you're not going to I can't say that. If you can't visualize, because I do work with people that can't visualize, look at the color orange and imagine that color orange being over, like a shroud coming over your entire body. This orange light, because this orange light, it absorbs trauma. The orange ray absorbs trauma, it absorbs stress, and it's creating a buffer against these coercive, manipulative energies that are trying to get into your mind. So take a minute here to just imagine this beautiful orange light surrounding your mind, surrounding your entire body, amplifying your auric field, and bringing in this beautiful energy of vitality, burning away at anything that no longer serves, burning away at anything that is attached to you, that is not in service to you, that is not your energy. It's allowing this beautiful orange light to surround you. And that's a fantastic way of absorbing grief, stress, trauma, and strengthening your life force. And you can do that at any time. Just imagine this orange light coming over you. All right, final card for us for the month of August. Interesting month. Won't be boring. Sometimes I like boring. I remember a time of my life where everything was the same for many, many, many years. And at the time, I was like, this is so dull and so boring. But now a part of me is like, I want that back. All right, final cards, you guys. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer questions. Um, Card is, this is Metatron Rainbow Bridge, always open. Connecting into the heavenly rays, like what we just did. These are living energies. They're energies that are here to support us. And all you have to do is call it in, even if you can't see it in your mind. Connecting with God, connecting with whatever it is that you believe in, even if it isn't God, connecting in with that higher frequency. Your guides and angels are here for you. I'm here for you. You have people that love you and care about you. Um, you're loved and supported and you're needed here. So thank you for being here on this planet at this time. It's not an easy place to be. All right, you guys, take great care of yourself and I'll talk to you soon.